Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Marissa, or Marisa, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Both are right. And I share stories about things that I'm going through, and currently those are surrounding mental health because I'm on a mental health healing journey, and I've been sharing different things that I've been dealing with and going through in order to help heal my trauma from my past. And in today's video, I wanted to share my experience with MRT therapy. I have shared other videos about a mental health program that I was a part of and other things that have helped me on my journey, and those videos can be found on my channel if you're interested in listening to those. But again, today's will be specifically about MRT, what it is, what my experience was with it, what my outcome or processing of it looked like, and whether or not I would recommend it to others. MRT stands for Memory Reconsolidation Therapy, and it's often used in trauma therapy to help you think of the traumatic memories in a new way. It helps you think back, remember those events, and then create new memories based on those events that will not cause triggers in the future when you think about them again. And I have done EMDR therapy prior to this, and I felt like it was a very beneficial form of therapy as well, because it helped me navigate and process certain events in my life that were causing me immense triggers in my daily life. But I was still living in a fight or flight mode, and so I knew that there was deeper trauma that I had to heal. And once I came to the mental health program that I was a part of, MRT was recommended to me, and so I took them up on the offer and did my one session that was recommended, and I am so glad that I did it. And that's why I wanted to do this video and talk about it, because not only is it a good reminder for me and the things that I've done and how far I've come, but it's also to help encourage someone who might be struggling or is on their own journey and is looking for ways to help themselves or help someone that's close to them. And I do believe that MRT is a wonderful way to heal some of the past pain that we've experienced and help us reframe it in a way that does not cause us daily triggers or the fight or flight response that we might feel when we think about those events. When I first heard about MRT through the program that I attended, I had heard from others that had experienced it, that it was life-changing light switch that went on in their minds and in their heads, and I thought that sounded very profound and enlightening in a way. So I was definitely very excited to try it, but also very apprehensive because I have been in therapy for so long and feel like I've done so much already that, oh, could this one additional method really do so much for me kind of attitude. But I'm so glad I gave it a try because it was unlike anything I'd ever experienced, and in the most positive way that I can think of. MRT was recommended to me to be only done one time. I'm not sure if other therapists or programs recommend or require multiple sessions, but specifically for me, it was recommended to be a one session only. And I was with this therapist for several hours. I want to say it was 2 or 2.5 hours that I was with him. And the way that my session specifically worked was I sat down with him. He went over who he was as a therapist, as a person, his past, how he got to where he is, and the method that he uses to walk someone through MRT. Because I'm sure there's multiple methods that can be used for this type of therapy, but his is very unique in the sense that because it didn't make me think back to any specific type of event or memory, but it made me think back to different age groups that I was in and when specific things happened, rather than having to recall that specific event within the session. So I didn't have to talk about it again. I didn't have to reopen my wounds in order to process MRT. I just had to think about the times when those things happened, and I was able to reframe those times in my life in a new light due to his method of MRT. One way that this session that I had experienced with MRT was different than others is that this therapist specifically does it based on a game that he calls the Untold Stories Game. Again, you don't have to recall any specific events that have happened to you. You just have to remember the ages that you were at, and then he walks you through your past, present, and future self in order to process those feelings and emotions that you so strongly are attached to based on those memories. And it helps create new memories and helps to reframe those thoughts in a more positive way so that you're not triggered by them in the future. And the process that this therapist used was almost hypnotic. It was honestly very, very unusual for me to experience something like this. It was definitely out of my comfort zone, but I'm so glad that I did it, because I think when we go through uncomfortable situations is when we grow the most. And I was definitely very skeptical about it too, but again, I'm very, very glad I did it because it helped me out more so than I initially thought that it would. Because initially I did feel apprehensive even after having processed some of the information that I had talked through or thought through in MRT. And initially I was still having triggers, but the more time passes, the more I'm realizing that it truly did help heal a lot of the open wounds that I had. And while there still are some that haven't healed fully, I'm so much better equipped to handle those feelings and emotions as they come up, rather than shoving them under a rug or forgetting about them or holding them for later or avoiding them or running away from them. Whatever I used to do, I am so much better at coming back stronger on the other side. There were also definitely some very challenging moments throughout the therapy, because I had to think of moments that were hard in my life, and a lot of those brought up painful moments. And the hypnosis type of therapy that this was made the challenge a lot easier to go through, because I knew I was thinking about those things, but they didn't feel so heavy at the same time when normally they would have. And I do feel like I was processing it as I was thinking about it, which was incredible. I think that there's a time and place for all kinds of trauma healing. I think there's a time and place for EMDR, for MRT, CBT, talk therapy, ACT. There's different types of trauma, or not even trauma, therapy methods that can be utilized to help a person. And depending on the severity of your past or trauma or complexity of the issues that you're dealing with, there is a method out there for you that can help you get through whatever it is that you're dealing with. And I think that's the main takeaway from this video, is that while MRT was incredibly helpful for me, and I am so glad that I did it and so grateful for the opportunity to have even had to be able to experience MRT, I know that it won't be for everyone, but I hope that if it sounds like something that you might enjoy or something that you might benefit from, that you will look into it a little bit more and find a therapist near you that might offer this type of service to you. And if this did not sound like the right method for you, there are so many differently qualified therapists out there that I'm sure there's one out there for you that would help you in whatever it is that you need support with. And please know you're not alone with whatever issues you're dealing with. Everyone has something they're going through. The severity is not important. Everyone's valid, everyone is worthy, and everyone is enough. I just want you to know that. And if you're ever struggling with feeling any sort of negative self-talk way, or you're not having good thoughts about yourself, please come back and seek out support here, because I will be here for you. I hope that you're having a great day so far, and I really appreciate you watching this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will, so that you can find out when I post new videos in the future. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and I really hope you'll take care of yourselves now and in the future. Give some grace to your past self. You didn't know any better, and you're just learning from all of the experiences that you've had so far. If you have experience with MRT or EMDR or any other sort of therapy or trauma therapy, I would love to hear your feedback in the comments below. I love hearing from you and hearing about your experiences because everyone's experience is different and that's what makes it beautiful. Take care of yourselves and thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.